I made all kinds of weapons, but not a single one satisfied me. It wasn't until another century passed that I finally forged a perfect spear. After mastering butchery and forging, I returned to studying martial arts. By then, I no longer cared what year or month it was. Thankfully, Rita was always by my side. But with humanity still not returning, Rita started to worry. What would happen if I reached my most desperate point? If only she could bring me some kind of new experience. After thinking for a long time, Rita suddenly realized the only thing I hadn't experienced was romance between a man and a woman. The moment that thought appeared, Rita's face turned bright red. She felt like she'd gone insane. As an angel, how could she have such a ridiculous idea? But Rita thought that if I was willing, she wouldn't mind either. Just then, I noticed something strange and quickly called out to Rita. Seeing her confused, I pointed at the sword swinging at her waist. It was the one she had kept as a souvenir, but suddenly, it flew away on its own. In a panic, Rita quickly chased after it. But at that moment, my clothes changed back to the outfit I wore on the day time stopped. Everything was slowly returning to its original state. Rita begged God not to take the sword away. But when she looked down, she finally realized the Cataclysm era had already arrived. I was also floating up from below. Rita wanted to say a proper goodbye to me, but she couldn't resist God's power. Over these 1,000 years, we had already formed a deep bond. Rita's last words before being pulled away were actually a complaint that in the end we never even kissed, and I could only silently watch her get farther and farther away. Rita's departure left me deeply lost. I remembered how she once said she was an angel, a higher being. Did that mean if I became a higher being too, I could see Rita again? The world reset finally ended, and people started returning one after another. When I opened my eyes again, the area around me was packed with people. A status window appeared in front of me too. Everyone was talking about their 10 years of experience, meaning they had gone through 10 years of training. Meanwhile, I was a full 1,000 years behind. But right now, I only wanted to see my parents because I had almost forgotten their faces. When I returned home, a voice suddenly called out to me. The moment I saw my mom, all those familiar memories came rushing back. Even though 1,000 years had passed, there wasn't the slightest distance between us. Dinner felt exactly the same as before. The only difference was that my parents talked about their experiences in the other world. When they asked about me, I didn't want them to worry, so I brushed it off. Based on what they said, even after 10 years of training, not many people seemed able to control divine power well. I chatted with my parents until late at night, then reluctantly went back to my room. That's when I realized the spear I had spent a century forging hadn't disappeared. The only reason I could think of was Rita. Either way, this was good. When it came time to fight monsters, I wouldn't need to look for a new weapon. When I opened my status window and saw that this steel spear had 800 attack power, I honestly had no idea if that was high or low. So I went online to look for posts shared by people who had returned from other worlds. First, I organized information about levels. Levels 1 to 5 were normal human level. Apparently, in other worlds, the standard for selecting soldiers was usually level 7. At level 10 and above, you could obtain classes like swordsman or archer. After reaching level 50, you could get a second class advancement. That was also considered the symbol of an expert. When you reached level 100, you could undergo a third class advancement. But after the third advancement, leveling became insanely difficult, so almost no one online claimed to have seen a fourth advancement player. Still, there were all kinds of guesses, saying only high-level monsters like dragons or Bahamut could reach the fourth or even fifth advancement. For now, this was all the information I could gather. I'd investigate the rest at school tomorrow. Even though the world had changed drastically, my life didn't seem that different. After a moment of silence, I murmured Rita's name. I really do miss her.